The galaxy was burning. For years, the Galactic Union had fought a losing war. Their enemy, the Zarkons, were strong, brutal, and without mercy. Planet after planet fell. Cities turned to ash. Armies vanished. The Union needed help, and fast. So, they looked toward a forgotten planet on the edge of the galaxy, a small, quiet world called Earth. Most in the Union had never heard of it. Earth had no spaceships in the sky, no voice in galactic politics. It had stayed hidden, alone, and silent. But old records told stories of humans, dangerous, wild, and smart. A species that had once destroyed itself in great wars, but always came back stronger. "We need them," said High Counselor Jaren. "Even if they are primitive, they are fighters." And so, they sent a peace envoy. The silver ship landed just outside a human military base in what humans called Colorado. It was surrounded by snow, silence, and mountains. The air was thin and cold. 3 galactic officers stepped out of the craft, dressed in fine armor, holding the white flag of peace. They were met by 5 human soldiers. The soldiers wore black. With no flags or names, their faces were still, their eyes cold. "State your purpose, May," said one of the humans. The alien leader, Ambassador Lurok, stepped forward. He bowed politely. "We come in peace. We need your help. The galaxy is at war. Billions are dying. You are Earth. You are the last light of hope." The human soldier didn't blink. "Why us?" "Because you are feared," Lurok said. "And we need fear on our side." There was a long silence. The wind howled across the snow. Then the human nodded once. "Wait here." The soldiers turned and walked back into the base. No emotion, no small talk, just silence. The aliens looked at each other. "Strange people," one of them whispered. 1 hour later, the humans returned. This time they were followed by a tall woman in a long coat. Her face was lined, her eyes sharp. "I am Commander Reyes," she said. "You want our help in your war?" "Yes," Lurok said. "In return, the Union will offer protection, technology, and trade." Reyes studied him. "Who are you fighting?" "The Zarkons. They are monsters. They destroy everything." She paused. "And if we say no, we die," Lurok said simply. "And soon you will too. They will reach Earth one day." Reyes nodded slowly. Then she smiled, but it wasn't a kind smile. "You think we don't know war?" She turned to the side. A soldier handed her a small device. She tapped a button. A large screen came to life. In the snow, it showed images. Old footage. World War I. World War II. Cities bombed. Soldiers screaming. Nuclear blasts. Then more footage. The Cold War. Tanks, missiles, riots, fear. And then modern wars. Urban combat, cyber war, space tests. Black Ops missions. Lurok and his team watched in silence. Their faces turned pale. "We have always known war," Reyes said. "We were born in fire, raised by chaos." She walked closer, voice lower. "We do not fear war. We study it. We master it. We make it." "But will you help us?" Lurok asked, almost whispering now. Reyes looked at her. "Soldiers." Then she looked at the sky. "No," she said. "Not yet." Lurok's heart sank. "Why?" "Because you ask for allies like we're your servants," she said coldly. "You come here thinking we're desperate for your approval." She took a step forward, voice sharp like a knife. "We do not fight other people's wars. Unless they become our war." The aliens left Earth confused, afraid, and unsure. But 2 days later, 12 humans arrived at the Union Command Center. No ships, no big armies, just 12. They wore black uniforms, no names, no ranks, just a patch on the chest, a burning sun. "Who are they?" the generals asked. "Black Sun Unit," said Reyes's message. "Let them observe." The generals laughed. 12? That's it? But the laughter didn't last long. Within days, reports came in. Zarkon bases destroyed. No survivors. No evidence of weapons used. Just a strange calling card. A human coin on the ground. Zarkon commanders began sending distress signals. "We are not alone," they cried. "Something is hunting us." The galaxy had wanted allies, but what they found on Earth was something else entirely. Something that didn't fear death. Something that never forgot a threat. And something that never forgave betrayal. They had awakened something ancient. Something waiting. A sleeping beast. And now, it was watching. The Galactic Union did not know what to think. They had asked Earth for help. Earth said no. Yet, only 2 days later, a human team arrived at the Union's war base. They didn't come in a fleet. They came quietly. No ships, no flags. Just 12 humans stepped out of a dark metal transport ship. No one knew where the ship had come from. It didn't match any known human design. It had no name, no markings. They wore black armor, no faces shown, no words spoken. Just a single glowing symbol on their chests. A sun, burning in red. The officers at the base stared at them. "Where is your commander?" one officer asked. One of the humans stepped forward. A woman, short, calm, cold. "I speak," she said. "Name, Lieutenant Karavos. Unit, Black Sun." "You came to fight?" asked the officer. "No," she replied. "We came to watch." The Galactic Union leaders gathered in their war room. Tensions were rising. The Zarkons had pushed deep into Union space. 3 colonies were under siege. Thousands were dead. And now Earth had sent just 12 people? It felt like a joke. "They must be testing us," said Admiral Kothan. "They think they're better than us." "They're insulting us," said Counselor Vren. "Only 12 against the Zarkons?" But Commander Reyes had made it clear in her message. "Send 12. No more. No less. Let them see the truth of your war. Then we'll decide if Earth should speak louder." The Union had no choice. The Black Sun unit was assigned to the front. Lying on Colony Vega 4, one of the bloodiest battlefields, it was supposed to be a simple watch and report mission. But what happened next shocked the galaxy. The Black Sun unit entered Vega 4 with no escort, no heavy gear, no mechs, just their suits and silent weapons. They didn't speak to the Union troops. They didn't even ask for maps. The soldiers of the Union laughed behind their backs. "Look at them," one said. "Arrogant Earthlings. They'll die on the first day." But the humans didn't die. Instead, something else started to happen. Zarkon forward bases began to fall, quietly. No explosions, no airstrikes, no alerts, just silence, followed by radio static. Then, a day later, Union scouts would find the bases. No survivors. Every enemy soldier killed with clean shots. No alarms were triggered. No defense systems touched. Just a single human coin left behind at each site. One Zarkon prisoner was rescued alive. Barely. He was shaking. Whispering the same words over and over. "They don't sleep, they don't speak, they don't stop." By the end of the week, the Black Sun unit had cleared more ground than 3 full Union battalions. The officers were stunned. "How?" asked General Rawl. "They don't even carry heavy weapons." One Union drone finally caught a glimpse of their tactics. The footage was short but chilling. The humans moved through enemy lines like shadows. No sound, no light, no wasted movements. They used the dark. They used fear. And they struck fast. So fast the enemy couldn't react. But the worst part wasn't how they killed. It was what they said before each attack. One drone picked up audio, 3 seconds long, a whisper. "You invited us." The Zarkons panicked. They began pulling back from Vega 4. Whole units ran from their posts. Morale was broken. Commanders demanded to know what force had turned the battle. But no one had answers. Just a name. Black Sun. The Zarkons sent a message to the Union. "You have called demons to the field. We do not fight shadows." Back at the Union war base, Lieutenant Voss returned with her team. None of them had a scratch. They handed in a small device, a report. It showed maps, kill counts, enemy, weaknesses. No words were spoken. Voss simply said, "We have seen enough." Then they left. No one tried to stop them. The Union leaders were silent. What had they brought into their war? They thought they needed help. They thought Earth would come with ships, with diplomacy, with respect. But Earth had sent something else. Something that didn't follow rules. Something that didn't ask for approval. Something that simply acted. They had made a silent agreement with Earth, but they had no idea what the cost would be. And far above, in the cold black sky, Earth watched, waiting, judging, choosing. The Zarkons were not used to fear. They were conquerors, monsters of steel and rage. But now, they were running. Something had changed. Something had entered the battlefield. They didn't know what it was. They didn't know where it came from. They only knew one thing. It hunted them. The Galactic Union tried to understand. They sent drones, scouts, and spies, but none could follow the humans. The Black Sun unit moved like ghosts. They had no known tech, no readable signals, no trace. Yet, every night another Zarkon base would fall. No alarms, no warnings, just silence, followed by death. One Zarkon ship sent a last message before it was destroyed. Shadows walk among us. They do not speak. They do not miss. They do not fear. The message cut out. The ship was gone. General Theros, a high commander in the Zarkon Empire, was furious. "Who are these ghosts?" he shouted. His officers had no answers. The Union forces were weak. Their ships were outdated. Their soldiers were slow, but these humans, they were different. "They don't fight like others," said one Zarkon scout. "They fight like hunters." "Then we hunt them back," Theros growled. "Set a trap." And so they did. The Zarkons prepared a fake base filled with hidden weapons and elite soldiers. They waited for the humans to come, but the humans never did. Instead, the next day, the real Zarkon command post 200 miles away was destroyed. By morning, all Zarkons there were dead. The fake base? Untouched. Only one thing was left behind. A coin, a simple Earth coin, placed on the body of the Zarkon commander. Back at Union HQ, confusion turned into fear. "This is no longer observation," said Admiral Kothan. "They are controlling the battlefield." "We didn't give them permission," said Counselor Vren, but Lieutenant Voss said nothing. She and her team stayed quiet. Always quiet. They ate alone. They trained alone. They never laughed, never smiled. When asked what they were planning, Voss gave the same answer every time. "We are watching, learning, and preparing." "For what?" an officer finally asked. Voss looked him in the eye. "For when this war becomes ours." Whispers began to spread. Union soldiers started to talk about the Black Sun like legends. They see in the dark. They don't bleed. They're not soldiers. They're punishment. Morale among the Union troops began to rise. Not because they believed they would win, but because they believed the humans were unstoppable. And the Zarkons believed it too. One captured enemy officer refused to speak at first. But after a day of silence, he broke down. "They kill without hate," he said, "without joy, without rest. They don't care who we are, they just come and end us." Then, he leaned forward, voice shaking. "You didn't bring warriors from Earth. You brought executioners." One night, a Union recon drone caught something rare. Real-time footage of a Black Sun mission. It was short, only 20 seconds, but enough to send chills through every officer who watched it. The humans moved through a Zarkon base with perfect silence. No words, no wasted motion. They used blades, not guns. Not to save ammo, but to be quiet. In the center of the video, one human turned to the drone's camera for just a second. No fear, no surprise. Just a look. As if to say, "We see you too." Then, the feed went dark. Back on Earth, Commander Reyes received the Black Sun report. She read the data, kill counts, maps, weak points. She smiled. Then she turned to her aide. Has the Council given us a formal invitation to join the war? Not yet, the aide replied. Reyes nodded slowly. Then we'll keep watching. For now. She looked up at the stars on the screen. They called us to help, she said. But they don't understand who we are. She stood, calm and cold. We don't just win wars. We end them. The Zarkons tried one last desperate move. They dropped a plasma bomb on a Union colony, against civilian law. Millions were killed. They expected the humans to pull back. Instead, that same night, 3 Zarkon cities vanished. No missiles, no armies, just gone. A message appeared on every Zarkon screen. You made it ours. The galaxy wanted allies. They reached out to Earth with open hands. But what they received was silence, followed by shadows. And now the whole galaxy was learning a simple truth. Earth does not join wars. Earth ends them. The galaxy was watching. Zarkon forces were falling back. Entire sectors were suddenly quiet. Not because peace had come, but because something else had arrived. Earth, or at least a small part of it. 12 humans. 1 silent unit. Black Sun. They never asked for permission. They never explained what they were doing. They just moved, acted, killed, and then vanished again. But not everyone in the Galactic Union was happy. Inside the Union's high command, the Council was growing nervous. They are too quiet, said Councillor Vren. They tell us nothing. They are dangerous, said Councillor Fira. Too dangerous. We know so little about them. General Rahl disagreed. They are winning our battles. Councillor Zarin raised a hand. Yes, but at what cost? The room fell silent. Have we traded one enemy for another? He asked. We asked Earth for help. Did we bring something worse than the Zarkons? No one answered. The Council called for a private meeting with Earth. They didn't send a message. They didn't request a call. They simply walked into the humans' quiet command room. The Black Sun unit was there, sitting in silence. Blood-to-Kara. Voss stood as the councillors entered. Councillor Vren didn't waste time. We want answers. Voss tilted her head. To which question? You're not following Union orders, Vren said. You act alone. We were told to observe, Voss replied. This is how we observe. You are changing the course of the war. Voss didn't blink. Yes. And you think that's acceptable? Voss stepped forward. Her voice was calm but sharp. You asked Earth for help. This is how Earth helps. The Council didn't understand it. They had seen powerful species before. They had seen advanced armies and brilliant minds. But they had never seen humans like this. No speeches, no emotion, no chaos. Only control, precision, focus. It frightened them. Councillor Fira asked the final question. Are you here to save us or replace us? For the first time, Voss gave a long answer. We didn't come to save you, she said. We came to decide if you were worth saving, she paused. And we are still deciding. Outside the council chambers, the war changed again. Zarkon forces tried one last push, an invasion of 3 colonies at once. They sent 50,000 soldiers and 100 warships. It should have worked, but it didn't, because the humans were already there. Not just the Black Sun unit. New humans had arrived, not many, just 40 more. All dressed in black, all silent, all deadly. They didn't wait for orders, they didn't send reports. They simply moved. Zarkon warships vanished. Ground troops were cut off. Communication lines were broken. The Zarkons called it the Black Storm. They ran. Again. The Council could no longer deny the truth. Earth wasn't just helping. It was taking over. But the scary part wasn't that humans were too strong. It was that they hadn't even used their full strength yet. If A few dozen could do this. What if Earth sent hundreds or thousands? The council asked themselves a quiet question, one they feared the answer to. What happens when Earth stops deciding? Some wanted to cut ties, send Earth away. They're unpredictable, said Vren. We didn't ask for this kind of help, but others disagreed. They're the only reason we're still alive, said General Rahl. If the Zarkons had invaded one more system, we'd be finished. Still. Fear spread. Not fear of losing the war, but fear of winning it and losing control. That night, in the dark halls of the Union's Grand Station, someone tried to plant a bomb near the humans' ship. They thought it would scare Earth. Instead, the man vanished, no sound, no sign, no record, only a note left on the council's private terminal. You invited us. The council didn't speak of it again, but from that day on they stopped asking questions, because now they understood Earth was listening, and Earth didn't like betrayal. In the shadows of the galaxy, rumors grew. Some said Earth had sleeper agents inside every Union world. Some said Earth had weapons no one had ever seen. Others believed Earth wasn't just from one planet anymore, that it had spread quietly, hidden behind stars, preparing for something far bigger than the Zarkons. Whatever the truth was, the message was clear. Earth does not ask, Earth decides. And somewhere in the cold, dark corners of space, something even worse was waking. Because Earth wasn't alone anymore. And the galaxy had no idea what was coming next. The Zarkons were desperate. They had ruled this part of the galaxy for decades. They crushed rebellions, burned worlds. They feared no one, until Earth came. Now they were running. Now they were hiding. Now, they were afraid. And fear makes even the strongest do strange things. Deep in Zarkon space, General Tharos met with his advisors. Their war plan had failed. Their fleets were in retreat. And the humans, those silent killers, were everywhere. We must stop them, Tharos growled. But how? His second-in-command asked. They are few but unstoppable. Tharos clenched his jaw. Then he said something no one expected. Then we need help. Help? From who? The Zarkons had no allies. They had conquered too many, destroyed too many. But there was one group, one enemy. Even they feared the Kroth Syndicate. The Kroth were not an army. They were older, colder. They dealt in secrets, weapons, and death. Even the Galactic Union stayed away from them. But Tharos had no choice. He sent a message. The humans are a threat to us all. Let's talk. And for the first time in centuries, the Kroth replied, send coordinates. Come alone. At the same time, far from Zarkon space, the Galactic Union noticed something strange. A new signal. Encrypted. Hidden. Coming from deep space. The Black Sun team intercepted it. Kara Voss studied the signal. She said nothing for hours. Then she turned to her team. Zarkons are reaching out. They're scared. Who are they contacting? One soldier asked. Voss showed the symbol on the screen. It wasn't Zarkon. It wasn't Union. It was older. And it made the room go quiet. The Kroth, she said. We expected this. She stood up. Calm. Focused. Time to move. The Kroth meeting happened on a cold, dead moon. No air. No life. Just silence. General. Tharos stepped out of his ship alone. He waited. A tall figure in gray robes appeared from the shadows, face covered, voice deep. You bring war to our door, Zarkon. I bring opportunity, Tharos said. The figure paused. Speak. Tharos laid out the plan. Earth was growing. Fast, too fast. If the Kroth helped destroy the humans, the Zarkons would share control of the galaxy. The figure said nothing for a long time. Then, finally, we accept. But with one condition. We want one of them alive. Back on the front lines, the humans moved again. They didn't care about Zarkon politics. They didn't care about Union fear. They only cared about the mission, destroy threats, end war loyalty. Voss led her team into a new Zarkon station. This one different, bigger. Traps everywhere, heavily guarded. They moved in silence, room by room, until something strange happened. They found no soldiers, only bodies, Zarkons, slaughtered, torn apart, not by humans, by something else. Then a voice echoed through the hallway. They fear you, but we study you. The lights went out. Black Sun was not alone. The Croth had arrived, not in armies but in shadows. They wanted a sample, a live human. But the Black Sun didn't run. They fought. What followed was a battle no one saw, but everyone felt. Entire sectors went dark. Signals vanished. A Croth lab exploded from the inside. The next day, a Croth research station was found floating in space, hull ripped open. Inside, one message written in blood. You wanted one. Now you get none. The Union was shaken. The Zarkons were planning something big. The Croth were now involved, and Earth was getting more dangerous every day. Counselor Vren called an emergency meeting. This has gone too far, she shouted. We don't control this anymore. No, said General Rahl. But maybe that's a good thing. The room looked at him in shock. Earth doesn't want our power, he said. They don't want our politics, they only want one thing: victory. Meanwhile, Earth finally responded. Commander Reyes spoke to the Union via a private channel. Her face was calm. Her voice cold. We warned you, she said. You called us. You thought you needed allies. She leaned forward. But what you really needed was someone to end it. And then she said something the galaxy would never forget. This is no longer your war. It's ours now. The war had changed, no longer a battle between the Zarkons and the Union. It had become something else, something colder, sharper, final. Earth had taken control, and now the galaxy waited. What would Earth do next? The Galactic Union leaders gathered in silence. They had watched Earth's small strike teams bring down entire fleets. They had seen Black Sun vanish into shadows and leave only fire behind. They had heard nothing from Earth for days. Then, suddenly, a message arrived. It came with no greeting, no warning, only one line, one meeting, one offer. Decide carefully. Attached was a set of coordinates, a place deep in neutral space. No ships, no weapons, no tricks. The Council had no choice. They sent their best diplomat, Chancellor Mevra Chancellor. Mevra landed on a small station orbiting a dead star. The doors opened. One human was waiting. Commander Reyes. She wore no armor, no weapons. Only her black uniform with the Earth symbol. Sharp and simple. Mevra stepped forward, nervous. We came to speak of peace, she said. Reyes said nothing. She simply turned and walked into the station. Mevra followed. They entered a dark room. One chair, one screen. Then Reyes finally spoke. This is Earth's final offer. The screen lit up. Images filled the screen. Zarkon cities burning. Croth labs in ruins. Union worlds defended by human soldiers. Mevra swallowed hard. You've already won most of the war, she said. So what do you want? Reyes stared at her. We want the rest of it over. Mevra hesitated. You mean peace? No, Reyes said. We mean an ending. She walked toward the screen and tapped a symbol. It was Earth's plan. Phase 1, full control of the war. Phase 2, isolation of all enemy factions. Phase 3, total surrender. Mevra's eyes widened. You're not asking, you're taking. Reyes replied calmly. You invited us. This is how we clean up your mess. Back in Union HQ, the Council was divided. Some wanted to accept Earth's plan. They've done more in weeks than we've done in years, General Rahl said. But others were terrified. They don't care about our laws. Our power. Our politics, Vren shouted. What happens when we're no longer useful? That question hung in the air. Meanwhile, the Zarkons made a final gamble. They gathered their last 3 superfleets, each one with over 100 warships. They prepared to strike Earth directly. They thought the humans would panic. They thought Earth would hesitate. They were wrong. As the fleets moved into position, Earth made its move, not with thousands of ships, not with nukes or superweapons, but with silence. Hundreds of Earth satellites appeared, cloaked, waiting. Each carried one purpose: disable, disarm, destroy. In seconds, the Zarkon fleets lost communication. Engines failed, weapons turned off. Then, the humans appeared. They didn't fire. They boarded. Every Zarkon commander was taken, every ship marked, and one single message was sent to the Zarkon Emperor. We don't want your planets. We don't want your power. We want you to kneel. At Union HQ, Chancellor Mevra returned. Her report was simple. Earth has no interest in ruling the galaxy, but they will not share it with cowards. The room went quiet. Then the screen behind them blinked on. Commander Reyes appeared. This is our final message, she said. Choose now. She paused. Stand behind us or stay out of the way. She stared into the screen. No more debates, no more councils. Then came her final words. Earth is done asking. In the following days, everything changed. Zarkon outposts surrendered. Kroth agents vanished. Human ships were seen across every front, but Earth didn't conquer. They didn't build monuments. They didn't take slaves. They didn't demand praise. They simply moved to the next threat. One by one. Efficient. Cold. Final. The Union watched and followed. Because they knew the truth now. Earth wasn't saving the galaxy. Earth was rebuilding. Their way. The war wasn't over, but the shape of the galaxy had changed forever, and every world, every leader now faced a simple choice. Follow the humans, or be left behind. The galaxy thought it had seen Earth's power. They were wrong, because Earth hadn't sent its full force yet. Not until now. The Zarkon Emperor had vanished. Some said he was killed by his own men. Others whispered he fled into the void, afraid to face Earth's wrath. Whatever the truth, the Zarkon Empire was collapsing. Their fleets were scattered. Their leaders were hunted. Their worlds were falling. But Earth wasn't done. They sent a signal across the stars. Phase 3 begins now. And then, Earth's true fleet arrived. It started as a shadow, a black shape in deep space. Then came hundreds more. Ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Sleek, silent, giant, no flags. No colors, only a single symbol on every hull, a clenched white fist. This was the Reckoning Fleet, Earth's real weapon, not diplomats, not scouts, not special ops. This was war, pure and final, and it was moving toward the last Zarkon stronghold. The Union Council watched in silence. Do we join them? Councillor Vren asked. General Rahl nodded. We have no choice. But this is no longer our war, said Fira. Rahl looked at her. It never was. On the edge of the galaxy, the last Zarkon world waited. Planet Gorvax Prime, their final command, center, their last army, their strongest fleet. They had dug deep, built massive planetary guns, shield networks, hidden mines. They believed they could survive. Then they saw Earth's fleet arrive. The sky turned black. No sound, no warning. Only the slow, perfect movement of thousands of human ships. Then came the message, broadcast across all Zarkon channels. Final. Judgment begins. Zarkon ships fired first, lasers, missiles, EMPs. Nothing worked. Earth's fleet didn't even slow down. Their weapons were different. Precise, silent, deadly. In under 15 minutes, the Zarkon fleet was gone. Not burning. Just erased. Every ship hit by a clean energy pulse. Disabled, captured, silenced. Then Earth turned to the surface. The Zarkons prepared for a ground invasion. Tanks, soldiers, mechs. But Earth didn't land troops. They dropped something else. Orbital judges, black spheres, each the size of a building. They floated down slowly, then opened like flowers. Each one released hundreds of drones. Not to kill, but to record, sort, judge. They scanned every person, every base, identified war criminals, marked buildings for destruction, and if a target was confirmed, they didn't use bombs, they used something worse. Precision collapse, one beam, one cut. The building crumbled without sound. Earth didn't destroy cities. They removed evil like surgery. Clean, cold, efficient. The Zarkons panicked. Some tried to run, others begged for mercy. But Earth had warned them. We are not your judges. We are your sentence. And the Reckoning Fleet did exactly that. They left Gorvax Prime in ruins but not broken. They left the innocent alive. They rebuilt hospitals. They reprogrammed food factories. Then they left, not to rule, but to move on. Because justice wasn't finished. Across the galaxy, the message was clear. Earth has rules. Follow them, or be erased. The Kroth Syndicate vanished. Pirate clans surrendered. Old warlords gave up power without a fight. No more hiding. No more waiting. The Reckoning Fleet was always watching. Inside Union HQ, Commander Reyes spoke again. Her message was short. This galaxy is under new balance. She didn't say under new rule, because Earth didn't want to rule. They wanted order. They wanted peace, Earth's kind of peace. For the first time in 100 years, war stopped. No weapons fired. No borders changed. Silence. And fear. Because now, every planet had to ask, what happens if we break Earth's rules? And the answer was always the same. The fleet returns. Far away, deep in Earth's command center, Lieutenant Kara Voss stood before a dark screen. It showed the galaxy, hundreds of red dots marked as cleared. A few yellow ones blinking, still under watch. One green dot blinked alone. Earth, still quiet, still distant, because Earth hadn't done all this for glory. It did it for survival. And if that meant breaking the galaxy to build it again, then so be it. Earth doesn't start wars. But Earth ends them. And the Reckoning Fleet, it never sleeps. It only waits. The war was over. The stars were quiet. The Zarkon Empire was gone. The Kroth had vanished into the shadows. And the Union had surrendered its pride. But Earth had not celebrated. There were no parades, no speeches, because Earth never fought for victory. It fought for the future. And now, it was time to speak. From a dark chamber deep beneath Earth's surface, one last message was sent. Not a warning, not a threat, a message to the galaxy, a statement. Every major planet received it. From Union core worlds to frontier colonies, no encryption, no code. It played automatically. A black screen. Then the symbol, a white fist over a blue Earth. Then, a voice. Commander Reyes. Calm, cold, clear. This is Earth's last message. We did not want war. We did not come to conquer. We came because you asked for help. You said you needed allies. You said the Zarkons were a threat to peace. She leaned forward. But you lied. You didn't want help. You wanted protection. You wanted someone to bleed for you while you hid behind your walls. But Earth is not your shield, and we are not your slaves. Her voice turned sharper now. You watched our people die. You ignored our warnings. When we brought order, you called it fear. When we stopped your enemies, you called us monsters. Reyes looked directly into the camera. You don't have to like us. You just have to remember what we are. Then she stood and turned toward a star map behind her. It showed the galaxy, divided into zones, green for neutral, yellow for watched, red for do not cross. Reyes pointed at the red. These are the lines you do not cross. Ever. No warlords, no slavers, no secret armies. Because if you do, she tapped the map. We will come back. The message showed scenes. Zarkon cities rebuilt, without thrones. Children on Kroth-occupied worlds learning Earth languages. Black Sun teams helping refugees plant crops. But there was no joy in the images, only discipline and silence. Commander Reyes spoke again. We are not your rulers. We will not build an empire, because empires fall, but we will watch, and we will respond. This galaxy has had too many chances. She paused. Now it has rules. The screen flickered to black. One final line appeared in white. God's peace is earned, order is enforced, Earth does both. And then, silence. Across the stars, the reaction was instant. Some wept, some cheered, most simply watched in silence, because they knew something had changed forever. Earth didn't ask for respect, it commanded it, not through fear, but through results. In a small mining colony on the edge of Union space, a young girl watched the message. She turned to her father. "Will Earth come here?" He nodded slowly. "They already have. That's why we're safe." The girl looked up at the stars, and for the first time in her life, she wasn't afraid of them. In a Union war room, Counselor Vren sat alone. The other council members had stepped down. Some retired, some ran. But Vren stayed. She watched the map, now glowing with Earth's new order. She whispered to herself, "Maybe this is what peace looks like, when it wears armor." On a hidden moon, the last surviving Zarkon general recorded a message. He sent it to Earth. He asked for no mercy. Only truth. The reply came in one word: observed. The general smiled, then destroyed his weapons. Above all, the reckoning fleet floated in silence. Not gone, just waiting. Waiting for the next threat. Waiting for the next false promise. Waiting for the next scream across the stars. And if it ever came, one thing was certain: Earth would hear it, and Earth would answer. This was not the end. It was the new beginning of a galaxy where war had a cost, where power had a limit, and where Earth stood watch forever.